Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our show brought to you by Calhoun's. Football is just around the corner. College football, high school football is already here. Be sure to turn to Calhoun's and their Feed 5 and Feed 10 family packs for your tailgating needs. They are also in Neyland Stadium, of course. So if you're not going to tailgate before, then you can always grab Calhoun's in the stadium if you're going to the game. But if you want to be the star of the tailgate and have everything ready made for you, Calhoun's, you can put ribs in here, the regular barbecue in here, the buns, plates, slaw, beans, all the fixings, everything, one deal. Feed 5, Feed 10 family packs from Calhoun's. Check them out before you go tailgating this fall. All right. I want to start talking about most importance, and let's start with the offensive side of the ball. For this Tennessee team, considering who's proven, who's not, who's new, who's got injury concerns you might be wondering about, what is the most important position for this team, not including quarterback? When you got a new quarterback coming in, that's obvious. Outside of quarterback, what's the most important offensive position for this Tennessee team?
Center.
Yeah,
because your offensive line is supposed to be a team strength. Your center is the leader of your offensive line. If because of injuries or just because of lack of performance, if that position's not settled, then I think it spreads out through the other four guys. And then your team strength, once again, like we talked about earlier, is just average.
That's where I go too, because the bottom line is you want to be able to run that's supposed to be your strength. Run the football, take the pressure off your new quarterback, whoever he is, and then also protect him when he's dropping back to pass.
Yes.
And if you've got problems at center,
and it's right up the middle, in your face.
Well, you saw last year when you put a nose tackle in front of Coleman Thomas, you had a different type of play.
The results weren't good for Tennessee.
They weren't good. So to me, I agree with Bob. I think it's center. Did you say center as well?
Well, I actually had interior offensive line and center because a lot of the same things we said
now
about.
You're producing your own show. There we go.
I'll throw out a pretty good one. How about Juwan Jennings?
No, we're not talking about people. We're talking about positions. Well, that'd be wide receiver.
Wide receiver. And what you've lost there, and when you're looking at your playmakers, a new quarterback, seems like in some of the scrimmages we've heard of drop passes, and some of the inconsistency, I think, has also been at the receiver position. So I think that's key.
Butch Jones has said they need more playmakers. They're looking for their playmakers to step up. Gentlemen, where are you going with this most important offensive position?
I think it's wide receiver too. I think they have struggled at times during camp. I've heard of some concerns going back to spring practice. I don't think anyone from that group behind Juwan Jennings really has stepped forward. So I think you've got to look at that position and say, for whoever the quarterback is to succeed, someone has to step forward at that group, and you can't just rotate 6 or 7 guys hoping someone makes plays.
Mm-hmm. To make sure I'm not cavaliersing the question, you're not talking about number 2 running back, right?
Well, just running back in general, yeah.
Well, I wouldn't
if
say
you
that
want to get
'cause of
specific
Kelly.
with number 2, okay, that's fine.
But if it's safe for that, I would say receiver, and here would be part of that reason. With Josh Malone last year, you had Jennings as a complimentary guy. Right now with Jennings, who's the other guy?
Is
That to me is a concern. Is it Callaway? Is
Yes.
it Brandon Johnson?
Josh Palmer was making a name for himself early.
Yes.
So to me, I would go in that direction, because if you don't have somebody, and maybe you need 2 of them because they run the spread a lot, if you don't have other receivers stepping up, or maybe it's a healthy Josh Smith, then I think it's going to be hard for Juwan Jennings to put up big numbers.
And one other thing, if your offensive line is struggling, and some of these defenses are gearing up to stop the run and will be able to stop the run, you better be able to throw it some.
All right, let's move it to the defensive side of the ball. And just to be clear, defensive tackle, here are your options. Defensive tackle, defensive end, middle linebacker, weak side linebacker, or for the rare occasion, I think they use a third linebacker, strong side, cornerback, safety, nickelback, hybrid, the monster, if you will. Most important spot on the defense. I'll start by saying defensive tackle. To me, you had such a horrible time trying to stop the run last year. I think you have to, that has to be the first area you shore up. And the problem is, I think you've got talent at defensive tackle, but you've also had a lot of injuries there. Some of your best players can't seem to stay on the field at that position. So to me, most important position for this defense in this season is the defensive tackle spot. Gentlemen.
I'll go defensive end. I think for similar reasons that you lost, obviously, Derek Barnett, you lost Corey Vereen, a lot to replace at that position. And I think between all that and having some guys who haven't proven it before, Jonathan Kongbo, Darrell Taylor, Kyle Phillips has to stay healthy. Those top 3 guys need to stay on the field or they could be in trouble.
Yeah, and I also had cornerback down because, I mean, do you have somebody that you could call a shutdown corner? And if we hear about all of the strength and conditioning improvement, that's where we've heard some of the players have made the most progress. at quarterback. And I thought, I'm a Cowboys fan. Rod Marinelli said you cannot have a physical defense if your cornerbacks aren't physical. Or is Tennessee going to have that?
You're talking about a shutdown corner. I don't know that you've got really a proven number one, period, much less shutdown. I don't know that you've got a number one that you can count on at this moment.
My first thought was defensive tackle, but cornerback also to me. And here's part of the reason why, and I remember John Chavis talking about this. You can't be aggressive on defense and blitz and throw all these stunts if you're not good at cornerback. And that was one of the things that he talked about. I think the same thing with Shoop. Shoop wants to be aggressive. He wants to blitz. He wants to play attacking. You can't do it unless you have good cornerbacks. So I would put cornerbacks as a very important area.
30 seconds, Bob. Where are you going?
I'm going to go back to what you said, defensive tackle. I think last year the lack of a run defense made the rest of the defense look bad. I would put middle linebacker as my number 2 for this same reason. You've got to be able to stop the run. You need to be able to stop the run up the middle, so I'll go with you, defensive tackle.
Okay, very good. We still have a lot of stats and numbers and facts and figures to go, but when we come back, we're going to continue with our most important questions, most important newcomer to this team, most important week on the schedule, most important game. Come on back on the Sports Source.